Hey guys, it's Kamer. In this video we're going to bring you an overview guide to one of my favorite class combinations, Zealot Bulwark. Alright, so an overview of this build. What you're mainly trying to do is be a sustainable tank where you regen armor over time, but you lose health due to blood armor. And we'll talk about the scrolls in a minute here. Ultimately, you want to be able to leech armor and life while taking reduced damage. Some of the cons of this build is if you don't find all the gear you need, it's not great. And besides that, Vivisection as a scroll is kind of hit or miss depending on how the direction of the game goes. The skill points that are important to pick up mainly are blood armor from Zealot and transference from Bulwark. But Vivisection is one that you could pick up early if you intend to be super aggressive with your fights along the way, or even if, let's say, you have the selection between Vivisection and Manivore. So top tier skill point picks are blood armor and transference. I would pick blood armor every time it came up until it's max level. Transference is the second most important scroll to get, and then besides that, you can choose between Penitence and Inner Peace depending on what your playstyle is. I'd prefer Penitence to take less damage to begin with, but Inner Peace does make sense because it's whenever you take damage as opposed to taking damage to your HP specifically like Penitence. The great thing about Vivisection is that in this game I picked it up somewhat early and I ended up finishing the game with about 11 skill points. So when people say that items are more important than skill points, I would agree, except for when you just really ramp up. I was essentially unkillable.
Now let's talk about the items you're trying to find.
As far as gauntlets go, you can normally go whatever you're comfortable with. In this game you'll see me going fire, wind, and stone, but that's just my personal preference. You could do Ice, Stone, Wind, which I know is super popular. Any combination really works. Boots is something you don't really need to worry about. You can just go ahead and choose based on your preference again. Normally, Student's Boots are really good for the 10% movement speed. Obviously, Boots of Sprinting are really good. Boots of the Scribe are also really good for that 25% movement speed after using a rune. Pairs really nicely with Blink. Beyond that, for belts, what we're looking at is Reinforced Belt, Armored Belt, Regeneration, or Behemoth Belt. Alternatively, you could also grab the Slay King Belt for some potion chugging, or Belt of the Scribe for the same reason as the Boots of the Scribe. When it comes to Amulet Selection, I think mainly you'd want to go Amulet of the Leech. That's really good life drain that you can steal life from your target when you do damage to their HP, which really helps feed into the blood armor scroll that we picked up earlier. I believe in this game I end up having Amulet of the Leech, Belt of Regeneration, as well as Boots of the Scribe. For runes, especially if you pick up those items of the Scribe, Boots and Belt, then Blink is your number one choice here. So you can keep up that damage reduction from the Belt of the Scribe, as well as the movement speed from the Boots of the Scribe.
Other than that, follow your normal preference for runes.
My general thoughts on this build is that it should be played slower. The armor and health bars keep topped off with the Transference Scroll and Amulet of the Leech, as well as blood armor. So you want to play slow. If you have a second to back out and regenerate your health and armor, you want to take that opportunity to do so. For this same reason, it's a good build to go, especially with the third-party meta going on right now.
Because if someone interrupts your fight, then you can back out, regenerate, and then go back when you're ready.
One playstyle aspect of this build that's different than most builds is you want to stack up more on health potions than on armor potions. This is more of a benefit to you because the health potions are largely untouched versus the armor potions that are quickly taken up.
Well, that's it for this build guide. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment below with your favorite build and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content.